Hey y'all, welcome to Magnolia Pines Homestead. My name is Amy, and if you are brand new here, welcome. So excited to have you here. We are brand new homesteaders in the Panhandle of Florida, and after 2 years of traveling full-time in our RV, we decided to settle down here, learn to become more self-sufficient, and that's what we like to share on our channel here. We are so excited to be part of my friend Anna's collaboration from Fermented Homestead. She's right here. Check her out. We are participating in Fermented February, and I've got a super easy recipe for you. But real quick, we need to talk about our sponsor. Make sure to hop on Anna's lives on Monday nights. She is giving away amazing prizes over there. And thank you to our amazing sponsor, which is Haas Tools. I personally love shopping seeds from them. They are super fast to ship. I was introduced to them last year. I've had amazing results with their seeds, and I love that on their website they pretty much break it down, because as a brand new gardener I don't know how to do anything. I like that they tell you exactly on the seeds, you know, what the germination rate, how far to plant them down, when to actually plant them. You can go on there and check out, put your zip code in, see if it's stuff that you can grow in your area. They are great, so definitely check out their channel, Haas Tools. And I believe on the 14th is when she had her Fermented February video. Definitely check it out. And again, don't forget to hop on Anna's lives and go back and check. I'm going to tag all of the collaborators from February in my description above. You definitely want to go look at their videos, go comment. That's how you're getting entries for the giveaways. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow along. If you are brand new to fermenting like I am, I've got a really easy recipe for you. A few years ago, I started doing some research, and I decided that for my health reasons, I wanted to stay away from certain ingredients that are most commonly found in dressings and vinaigrettes and mayonnaise, general things like that. But one thing I had never tried was mustard. So anytime I can sneak in a little bit of probiotic, get that good healthy gut bacteria in there, I love to try it out. So let's get started with our super easy fermented mustard recipe. You're going to need a few simple ingredients for this recipe. I personally went with a mixture of yellow and brown mustard seeds. So I went with Anthony's brown mustard seeds. Now these are a little bit more spicier, something what I'm looking for in this one. I do like the stone ground spicy brown mustard, so we're doing that with a mixture of yellow mustard seeds, which is more of a milder taste. Now you also need a good salt, and we're going to make our own brine with that. You want to make sure to use filtered water. And then after we drain it, we're going to be using apple cider vinegar. Make sure again to get one that is unfiltered and has that mother in it. First off, we're going to start with 2 teaspoons of salt and then add our filtered water to that to make our brine. Next up, you can play with the mixture that you like for the taste you're looking for in your mustard. I'm going to choose to do 3/4 a cup of the spicy brown and then a 1/2 cup of the yellow. Got that beautiful brine going in. I did give it a little stir just to make sure everything was mixed up in there. Now we're going to cover it tightly, and it gets to sit and ferment for 3 to 5 days. This is day 1. You can see we've already got some fermentation bubbles happening. It has been 5 days. I let it sit on the counter. After day 1, I did come check on it. So it looked about like this right now. I was a little concerned that maybe I needed a little bit more brine in it, so I just lightly kind of shook it back and forth, and I could see all of the fermentation bubbles rising to the top. So on day 1, it did show that it had for fermentation, but I just left it alone for 4 more days, let it sit on the counter, and now it's time to strain it. Definitely gives off a little bit of a fermentation smell. We're going to make sure to use a fine mesh strainer and strain out that brine. Isn't that so pretty? I wanted to give it a little sniff taste. So to me right now, almost, I know with Dijon mustard you have the white wine in there, but this almost gives almost like a Dijon mustard smell, and definitely like that stone ground spicy brown mustard that we all love. Our next step is to grab our apple cider vinegar. You can get whichever brand you prefer. Just make sure it is unfiltered and it does have that mother in there. That's the good stuff that you want to add to it. So we're going to add a 1/2 cup and 1 tablespoon to this, and then I'm going to actually do the mustard 2 ways. I want to be able to do one with a little bit more of like a stone ground, and then I'm also going to use my immersion blender to make it a little bit more smooth as well, which I'll end up using for vinaigrettes. Now I do have a little bit smaller of a mortar, so I do wish that I had one had a little bit higher sides, but I'm just going to grind it down a little bit until it's the consistency that I like. Whew, about like 5 minutes into that, I really want to add the
2 hours later.
But like 5 minutes into it, like my bicep and my forearm and everything's like, woo! But I got it down to where you can spread it pretty easily on some bread. I'm going to recommend that you use the suggested immersion blender. That'll make it a lot easier. And that's what I'm going to do now. Oh! Oh goodness, this is going to be fun. Take 2. So the mustard seeds are literally flying everywhere. The container that came with my immersion blender, I actually have my homemade mayonnaise in it right now. So instead, I'm going to transfer all the mustard seeds to this, and I think it'll work a lot better to actually keep them in there. Maybe the bowl wasn't such a great idea, so that could be a good tip for you. That was definitely a lot easier. It is getting a little bit closer to the consistency that I'm wanting, but I'm going to add, it's a little dry for me, so I'm going to add a little bit more apple cider vinegar. I'm not going to really do any measurements for this one. I would just say when you're doing it, then to just kind of, you know, measure with your heart. So I think the mustard turned out beautifully. I do like the texture that we went with here. I am going to leave it like this because I'm going to use it. Sometimes I'm just going to use it and slather it on some delicious bread, make a delicious sandwich with it. And sometimes I want to keep it like this so I can kind of mix it into a vinaigrette. And that's what I'm going to do today. So it is lunchtime, so I am going to make a sandwich, and I'm just going to make a little vinaigrette to go over some arugula on there. Now, if any of you have baked in an RV, as you can see, we still live in the RV right now. We are in the middle of building, and I have not ventured into the land of sourdough yet. So if any of you have any tips for cooking sourdough bread, anything baking like that in an RV oven or a convection oven, I would love to have your tips. Please comment them below so I can learn from you. However, what I did do is we have a local market here where vendors can come in, and they have that every Saturday, and I got a delicious loaf of sourdough bread. We're going to cut into that and make a prosciutto sandwich with a little bit of arugula and some vinaigrette on it. Drizzle this with a little olive oil, actually avocado oil. Toast it up a little. Let's do our taste test. Definitely spicy. Woo! It's really good though. Yeah, it's definitely spicy. So I did read that when you put this in the refrigerator, it's going to slow down that fermentation, and also at the same time, it's going to make it more mild as time goes on. So it's going to be really spicy when you first kick it off. That's why I'm going to tame it down with a little bit of a vinaigrette today. But it will stay in your refrigerator for a few months from what I've read. All right, so for our vinaigrette, we're going to put a couple tablespoons of red wine vinegar. 1, 2. I don't really measure. Just measure with your heart, y'all. All right, some lemon juice. Clove of garlic. I'm going to mince it up real fine. little bit of avocado oil. It's about like roughly between a quarter cup, third a cup. And then we're going to add our salt and pepper. Of course, using Redmond's Real Salt. And lastly, let's do about a tablespoon of mustard. That delicious mustard that we just made. Put it in a jar, shake it up. Oh, that smells good. All right, I'm gonna try it out, see how we like it. That's good. Actually, I would do a little bit more salt with it. I enjoy that delicious salt. And some more pepper too. That lemon juice with the red wine vinegar is really good. Okay. And here's about what your consistency is going to be like. Delicious. Let's set our plate. All right, now I'm going to put my homemade mayonnaise on there first. Don't come after me with the mayonnaise comments. I like it, okay. All right, that, I'm going to put a smear of this delicious mustard on the other side. Kick it up a notch. Now again, it is spicy in the beginning, so heads up for that. Be prepared. And then I've got some delicious prosciutto, capicola, and salami that I am going to put on my sandwich. I may have toasted the bread too long, but it'll be all right. The kick with the vinaigrette is really good. Oh yeah, good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have ever fermented mustard before, please comment below what is your favorite way to enjoy it. I'm kind of thinking that I want to try it out mixed with a, I have a peach barbecue sauce that I made last summer. I'd like to try that kind of mixed together, maybe put that on some ribs. That sounds delicious. I like to use mustard as a binder for the seasonings. And obviously the vinaigrette's really good too. I'd love that with a big crunchy salad. So again, thanks for hopping on. You all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and check out the creators that are tagged in the description above.